If you've watched my channel on a regular basis, then you know that I love Howard's Feed Wax. It feels fantastic on the back of guitar necks. And I've been applying it more recently to fingerboards on guitars, and I think this stuff is amazing. I personally love the feel of it. A lot of people seem to be somewhat reluctant to use this on their guitars, namely because of this orange oil. There seems to be some concern that over time this could hurt or damage a really expensive finish on a guitar, like a nitro finish on a nice guitar. I use it on all my budget stuff, so I'm not really too concerned about it, but I have not noticed any problem. Well, I don't know how Howard's got wind of this, but they have developed a new product and were kind enough to send me some. Introducing Axe Wax for all wood instruments without orange oil. Hey everybody, I'm Brant, and yes, Howard's did send me this. I'm sorry, I'm saying Howard's, but it's actually Howard Products. How do I know this? Because they also sent me this fantastic hat that says Howard Products Inc. on it. I got a free hat. And I got 4 bottles of this Axe Wax. So if you want some, let me know. I will be selectively choosing you. They also sent me this sticker. Woo, I got a sticker. 2 of them actually. One I put on my workbench already. But this Axe Wax, I saw this first on, I think it was on Brian Searching for Tones Discord channel. CD Nelson, Chris, had posted something on there. He'd seen an ad, I think on Facebook maybe, for Axe Wax, a new product by Howard. This is wood instrument polish. When I saw that post, I was like, that is fantastic, because some concerns about the Howard's Feed Wax is that orange oil. That seems to turn people off as not to be used on guitars. Well, this does not have the orange oil. It has just mineral oil instead. Let me read a little bit what it says here. Polish, shine, and protect your wood instruments. All in one step. Axe Wax brings out the natural wood tones, and they have a little musical note there, and gives necks and frets a smooth feel without becoming greasy or sticky. Perfect for all stringed instruments, electric and acoustic guitars, bass guitars, violins, cellos, banjos, mandolins, ukuleles, and more. Directions: a little goes a long way. Test in a small area, apply with the soft cloth, let sit for 15 minutes, then buff out with a soft cloth, reapply when needed or every 6 months. This says food grade mineral oil, specially developed for vintage guitars, nitrocellulose lacquer finishes, polyurethane finishes, and other wood finishes on instruments, according to their website. So I saw Chris's post about this and I thought, oh joy. And of course I shared it immediately with Ted, the king of Howard's. He's the reason I started using this. I've seen a couple other channels use this, but it was really Ted that convinced me. Oh, I love it. It was really Ted that convinced me to give it a try. And once I tried it, I was hooked. So I shared it with Ted, and Ted responded maybe a couple hours later, oh, they're sending me some. So I got right on that bandwagon, and I sent an email over to Howard and explained that I had a YouTube channel, that I love their product, and I would really, really like to try the Axe Wax, that I thought this would be right up your guys' alley. This stuff sells for, I believe, $3.39, and right now, it's only available through Howard's website. I'm not sure when they're planning on having this in other retail locations. I usually get my Howard products on Amazon. Hopefully this will show up there, because right now it's pretty expensive shipping unless you spend $40, in which case you get free shipping if you buy $40 worth of Howard products. you don't have to worry about that. But this is only $3.39. So if you just want one of these, the shipping charge is pretty high. But I've asked when they expect it to show up in some other retail locations, and I will let you know what they say. I've also asked exactly what the difference is between axe wax and feed and wax. My assumption is the only difference is the lack of orange oil in this stuff. I don't know though. So I've got an email out to them asking them that, and I will post an update on those two questions. But I want to give this a try on, I've got two necks that I need to spruce up. I've been working on this neck. This is from my bullfighter, my purple one. I've been working on this neck. I didn't like the pale neck, so I went ahead and sanded and stained and put a little bit of true oil on this guy. Not perfect. It's got some spots that aren't great, but I like it a lot better than what it was. So I want to finish off. I've done all the fret work and everything that I need to do on here. So I am super excited to get Howard's, the axe wax on here. I also have this acoustic guitar, but I did some fret filing on this Horse acoustic guitar, and I'm going to apply the Howard's feed and wax to that. Then I'm going to see, is there any difference? Can I tell any discernible difference other than, I think, than the smell, because the Howard's feed and wax with the orange oil does give a bit of a scent, a bit of a citrus kind of smell. This doesn't seem to have any detectable, to me, aroma, but we'll see once I get it out. And I'm going to apply both of those and see what difference I can tell. See if I feel any difference, or if one is significantly better, worse than the other one. I expect both of them to be pretty comparable, to be honest with you. Aside from the aroma, I don't know that I'm going to be able to detect any difference. That's my prediction. I don't know because I've not used this yet. Let's get to it, Jack. On camera, I'm just going to do the fingerboards on both guitars at the same time. I'm going to be using feed and wax on this guitar and the axe wax on this guitar neck. And again, just the fingerboard. I'll be applying both to the back of the neck as well, but just because of the camera setup and everything, I don't think that's going to work in my favor. All right, so I'm going to saturate a small area. The feed and wax, I don't have a whole bunch on there. Oh man, I love this stuff. I know I keep going on about it, but it really is in my limited experience, it is amazing stuff. I don't know how evenly I'm getting it on there. If I was not doing a comparison, I probably would have put a lot more on there. Okay, so I'm just trying to get it even. I'm not necessarily trying to wipe it off. All right. There's that. And we're going to do the same thing with this neck. A little goes a long way. Test a small area. I'm using a different cloth. There's a lot less of this. So I do not want to use this, overuse it. It seems to have a very similar consistency. All right. Definitely no aroma with this one. I don't know if I got enough on there. Visually, I can't tell any difference. It just looks like both of them have been conditioned. I'm going to let that dry. I don't want to keep wiping at it. I'm going to let it dry, both of them dry. Actually, while I'm letting them dry, I'm going to go ahead and flip them over and do the backs of the necks. I'll fast forward that part. All right, it's been about 15 minutes, and I did put Howard's Feed and Wax on the back as well. So I am just wiping off any excess and give it a little polish, a little buff. Oh man. For me, it's transformative, the difference. How it feels. Oh, I can't wait for this one. All right, use a different cloth. And clean this one up. Interesting. It still feels really good. It does not feel as slick as, well, to be honest, it's really hard to tell if there's any difference between the two. It feels really good. I still want to get strings on. I need to put this back on the guitar body and get the strings back on here, and really see how it feels. I think for me, to be honest, I personally am not concerned about the finish on the guitar. The availability and size options, I'd still probably get this if I run out of this. I mean, I'll use this Axe Wax, but until this becomes available on Amazon and maybe for a larger size, the cost of this is $3.39 for a 2-ounce bottle. The 2-ounce bottle of Howard's Feed and Wax is not available. They call that a sample size. But a 4-ounce bottle, so twice the size as this, of the Howard's Feed and Wax is $4.29. And this is $3.39. So what do I think? I think it's actually just as awesome as the Howard Feed and Wax. The Axe Wax feels really just as good. Would I say they're equal? You know, it's really hard to tell. They both feel great. And I think, to be honest, the biggest factor is if you want to try some of this stuff, whether or not you're concerned about the finish on your guitar. If you have a nitro finish or something that's relatively expensive, I would recommend getting the Axe Wax so you don't have to worry about the orange oil for any reason. Being that the Axe Wax is specifically designed for wood instruments, I would probably recommend getting that if there's any concern. The other, I think, deciding factor of which you decide, should you decide to try it, is price and availability. The Axe Wax does seem to be priced quite a bit higher than getting the regular Howard's Feed and Wax. And availability right now is only through Howard's website. So I think they're both equally satisfying products. for sure. So I did get a response from Howard's regarding my questions about the formula and availability. They said that the difference is that this product, the Axe Wax, does not contain orange oil. It uses a food-grade mineral oil, which is safer and better suited for guitars and musical instruments. It's food safe and doesn't contain any solvents. And the goal was to create something gentler on finishes while still conditioning and bringing out the look of the wood. And as far as availability goes, it's a brand new product. So right now it's mainly on their website while they continue to grow it. But they are in the works of expanding into more retailers as the product builds traction. I did want to thank Howard Products again for sending me the Axe Wax and the hat and the sticker and all the stuff. It was really great. So again, I think if you're concerned about your finish, maybe choose this one. If you're concerned about availability and price at this point, this might be the ticket for you. Both of them, fantastic products. I can't say enough about the Howard's wax. It really, I don't think I'll ever have a guitar that I don't put it on now. Thanks again for watching, and as always, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Cheers.